right, my friends, happy Sunday fun day to you. Aaron here bringing your daily horoscope. The full moon in Libra horoscope happening here on the 28th of March 2021. So we've got Venus, Sun, and Chiron at 8 degrees of Aries, all about the South. This is some energy we've been talking about the past week, so if you're new to the channel, you might want to backtrack a couple days and check out some of those videos because there's some interesting insight. And this Libra full moon, it's almost injustice to look at just this full moon because Libra is all about balance and justice. You know, when we fixate our eyes, our gaze on one thing, on one aspect, we're missing the picture as a whole, okay? So it's like where we've been coming from this past week, or this past 2 weeks really, since this new moon that we had in Pisces, or even if we take it back to last month when we had the moon in Libra, right? We had a pretty serious talk about the energy of Libra, the patience of Libra. It's an energy that's kind of overlooked and often confused in astrology as being a pushover, a weak sign, and it cares so much about other people that it's not valuing of oneself, right? So I'll probably put that video at the end of this here if you want to watch that or check it out. So let me show you the chart. You know, if you have something at 8 degrees, you're getting hit, especially if this is in the cardinal energy. Personally, my sun is 8 degrees Capricorn. So this is, you know, I'm at the crossroads here, right? So if you know your chart, what is going on? So not only do we have the opposition, the full illumination here, right? Our sun, the hero of the story, our ego self-expression here with Venus, the lover, that of which we love, want, and desire, and Chiron, the wounded healer. So on one end, this can be about me, my I, material possessions, material things, my energy, my attitude, my ego, my wants, my desires, my love, my passions, very much about self. That's what Aries is. This is about self. And this little semi-sextile here happening between these three and Uranus is really powerful, really beautiful, as Venus is getting closer to moving into its home sign of Taurus, which on the side of Taurus, Venus deals with material possessions, goods. This is my home. This is my, you know, not taking care of the home like here in Cancer, but I must have shelter, a roof over my head, clothes to comfort me, clothes on my back, not just to comfort me, but in the sense of if we walked outside in the world naked, other people might not appreciate that. It's like walking, when my mask falls off these days, I feel like my pants just fell down. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. So Venus rules Libra and Taurus. It's associated with both. So here it's about material possessions, things, money, finances. Venus rules Libra, which deals with other people, our balance between other people. The first 6 houses, you know, this is self, this is me, my I, this is my things, this is my knowledge, my wisdom, my communication, my feelings, my emotions, my will, my service, right? And now we're getting into the other. So Venus being at this opposition here to the moon. My moon is my emotional needs. We don't always see the full illumination just once a month, right? We live in the shadows. The moon lives in the shadows constantly. So we have this opportunity to see our shadow at its fullest, our fullest illumination. So being here with healing Chiron is quite powerful. As you see here, and I'm going to talk about all this, I'm going to come back in a moment and talk about this, but we also have a grand Air Trine. So the moon here at 8 degrees. We have the North Node and Mars working together, seeking truth, seeking, you know, this is something I've been talking about for a long time. It's been a solid 9 months now that we've had the North Node in Gemini, and a solid month that we've had Mars in Gemini just about. And this is seeking truth, and this is seeking, you know, an opinion or a perspective that's different from our own. And it doesn't matter how many times I talk about astrotheology and we can lay this stuff out, there's always somebody that tries to tell me, no, this is how it is. It's like, okay, you know, it's like we're not willing to put ourselves in that opportunity to take that space to learn a different perspective, as we're too busy focused so much on our perspective. All right. Anyway, so on the opposite side of this grand trine is Saturn. Saturn here, the boss, the ruler of the third dimension. Our sense of authority and us moving forward. Saturn loves Libra. Saturn is exalted in Libra because Saturn loves justice, loves the balance. Saturn is the lord of karma, right? Now, in this particular reflection here, this particular illumination, now that we've drank in this chart, I'm going to come back and talk about it a little bit. The opposition to the sun, to Venus, to Chiron, to the moon, all this energy about self, reflecting the light to the other. We are our greatest strengths and weaknesses. You are my greatest strengths and weaknesses. I am your greatest strengths and weaknesses. This is how the world works. This is how balance works. We are all each other's greatest strengths and weaknesses. Every person that we bring into our environment teaches us about ourselves, shows us about ourselves. Some people have a hard time with stillness, with calm waters, and will throw pebbles into the pond just to avoid seeing their own reflection. There's a little download that came to me last night. It's a very beautiful message. Thank you, universe. And this is very true. And oftentimes we are the calm, still reflection reflecting somebody else. And other people don't always want to see that. They want to project or throw that pebble to avoid seeing themselves. Some people want to complain about their day at work and complain about this person, and then they want you to jump on the let's complain wagon. Yeah, Mary, terrible. Or, oh gosh, Tim, what a that person sitting next to you in the cubicle, whatever he said or did at lunchtime, or what, it's like, it's okay. We can sit in our sewing circles, but sometimes when we don't reflect the person's energy back, when we just sit there and listen, holding that space for ourselves, because we're coming from this place of we know what we need, how to energetically be the sun. The sun doesn't stop shining, right? It stays lit always. It's not going to reflect. The sun is shining. It's not reflecting the shadow. It's the moon that goes in and out of hiding. So often people will project things at us, their ego, their uncomfort, their discomfort, their shadow. And how are we choosing to respond? This is interesting. And especially as we have this sextile from Saturn, the authority of I'm moving forward in this future. I'm moving forward in this direction, being accountable for myself. I want to be accountable for myself, and so I can be there properly and show up for you as well. And that's part of this grand trine that's going on. And seeking this new truth, and seeking truth through other people. We're all creating this age of Aquarius together. And like I said yesterday and many times in this channel, the age of Pisces is over. There's proof and evidence all around us. I don't want to get too much in an astrotheology kick, but there's information that comes to light that challenges our personal past beliefs. Well, we have the moon creating this trine to the North Node, trine to Mars, trine to Saturn. We are pushing forward, creating this new future. And it's like the train is coming. There's no stopping this train. There's no stopping and saying, no, I want to remain in the age of Pisces. No, I want to remain in the age of Aries. No, I want to remain in the age of Taurus. We have 2,000 years to go through those ages. And now it's coming to a new place where collectively as a whole, we're bringing this train in. And the old tradition, the old past that no longer is going to challenge that, is going to want to stop and put the brakes up. That's part of Uranus's job in Taurus, saying, no, there is no brakes. The brakes are gone. There's no stopping this train from coming. So we have all of this beautiful energy as well in Aries. Sun, Chiron, healing of ego, healing our expression, healing the reflection that we're giving back to others so that we can do that with love, with compassion. And doing this in this graceful way, connecting here with the Uranian energy. This breakthrough, abrupt, there's nothing stopping this. You can't cap a volcano. You can't stop an earth shake. You can't. That's part of this new age as well. That's part of the information coming in, and it's challenging. And it asks people to step outside of their comfort zone, to step outside of what they think is just personally proper or correct, just because this is what they were taught. And that's okay. We're going through this together. And part of this is to do it with kid gloves. Not to do it like you were wrong. I told you so, Like that's not helpful. We want to be helpful to each other, to our brothers, to our sisters, to the youth, to the elders that are learning something new. We are that reflection. We are the illumination back to them of themselves. And it's the bestest friends in the world. It's the people that care about each other the most that allow themselves to have those deep or hard conversations. It's not it can be anything. It can be anything, any topic, any of these difficult conversations, but it's the people that we care about the most that are willing to have those conversations. And sometimes people don't want to hear that stuff, but it's up to us to do it. It's up to us to know our own strength, the sun and Venus and Chiron and Aries. It's up to us to know ourselves fully and completely, where we've been coming from, the moon acting as service to other people, giving service back to humanity, knowing myself fully and what I have to offer. And if we're offering something that is constructive criticism, it might not be appreciated. It might not be reflected well, or the other might have a hard time receiving that information. So we have to do it with that sense of kid gloves. That's why Chiron is here helping us out to understand when we are going through these things and wanting to bring balance into the world, when we're wanting to, you're a loud chewer. I love you, but it's hard to eat with you because you sit there, and if we don't have that conversation, you, my good friend, I'm not going to want to eat dinner with you. Well, it's something as simple as that. So, now this is the balance. Is it my ego saying, okay, does that person need to change for me? Or do I need to change my boundaries and be accepting of that person? And then that's just they're a loud eater. That's how it is. So there is that bit of paradoxical balance. What serves the whole? Okay, now here's what's interesting. 8 degrees of Aries is about seeing the whole. Oftentimes it's frustrating as an astrologer and talking with astrology, and it's just like, well, what's your sun sign? It's like, well, it's more complex than that. Sure, there can be truths or stereotypes that go along or archetypes that go along with each sign, but when we're looking at one little thing here and not seeing everything as a whole, we're missing the big picture. That's what 8 degrees of Aries is all about. It's showing up to see the bigger picture, right? It's not nitpicking, the Virgo energy we've come from. It's not nitpicking just to make things my way. It's seeing it as a whole. And how will this affect the other? All right. Now, the other side of the coin, 8 degrees of Libra, is about reconnecting back to source, reconnecting back to ways that elders have done it, way that individuals from the past, grandmasters and wizards and the wisest counsel have been able to bring peace to this land, bring peace to the minds of the many. So it's like we're reconnecting with this energy and seeing things from the broader perspective. How things affect us individually, how things are affecting us as the group. What is my level of participation in the group of knowing myself to be able to add something in, not as bullying or pushing, but is also not to be bullied or pushed or persuaded to do something I'm not willing or comfortable to do. That's a powerful aspect of this, and that's part of this grand trine. The isosceles triangle is the strongest structure known to man, right? These 3 equal sides. It's not, the square can topple over. That trine is strong. So this is mental strength and this fire of knowing myself and my boundaries and what am I willing to, what am I not willing to. And when it comes to working with other people, finding that healthy balance of self to offer information, to offer insight to people so that they can receive it, we can expand, we can grow with one another. And that's part of this as well, is you know, the moon and Jupiter don't see each other. This sesqui-square, the moon and Jupiter don't see each other. Jupiter doesn't see this energy right now, and it just wants to expand in the future and thinking about all this and joy and abundance. And it's just like, yeah, but there's to be able to reach this joy and abundance, there are things that need to be addressed, you know? So when we ignore, it's easy. It's easy to ignore and to walk away. Oh, I don't like this thing about this person, so I'm going to leave. You know, and here's an empathic thing. Oh, I don't like the energy of this room, I'm going to leave. You're feeling, it's like you're the person of in power here that gets to feel this. And it's like, this is saying, add your light to this energy, instead of just letting the darkness live there. Darkness, this is a strange word, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you have the opportunity to add your flavor, your flair into this, instead of just allowing this other energy to exist without your light. You know, and in whatever the stronger, we talk about this in like the vibrational stuff, if you've been following this channel, you know, whatever the stronger vibration is, whatever the stronger tick-tock of the pendulum, the other pendulums take over with it. So you know, the empaths in this situation have the opportunity here to, once we know ourselves, know our strength, know our power, know the capacity of what we're loving, or know the capacity of our love, to add that into the environment. And it will shift, it will grow. And when we just walk away from something, it's the easiest way out. When we don't have those conversations, and it's right now we have Mercury as well conjunct Neptune, which we're going to talk about more over the next couple of days here, which it can be disillusionment, not seeing things for truly how they are, getting swept away in the media, getting swept away with the masses. You know, there's another aspect of astrology that I see often. I'm going to wrap this up, is, oh, it's a blessing and a curse. Well, which is it? Which is it? Are you saying that your gift is a curse? And do you just want people to agree with you? Well, what happens when somebody challenges you and says, no, your gift is a blessing? This is not a curse, that's a perspective, and you're being dramatic. Oh, no, you did not. Right? It's like, is Michael Jordan cursed because he's a great basketball player? What a terrible curse that I have to wear, that I have to go play basketball and do the thing that I love to do. You know what I mean? This is perspective. This is part of this grand trine that's going on here. What kind of future are we creating for ourselves? Are we really allowing that energy to exist within ourselves? This blessing and curse? No, this is a gift. And using our gifts, using our ability to communicate, using and knowing ourselves, knowing our chart, and being able to add our light back into society. Knowing our boundaries so that we're not toppled over when society just comes in and has their own opinion, their own views, their own ways. We can sit there, we can listen, we can observe without having to be responsive and reacting. We still have this square going on with Pluto and Eris. Eris is about how we're dealing with decision making. And we're soon going to have Venus and the Sun and Ceres, who is up in Aries as well, you know, slowly making their conjunctions to Eris. And this is a little bit of a forefront telling of where we're headed to. How do we deal with this information? How do we deal with somebody telling us constructive criticism? How well was that constructive criticism put? Is it started off with something kind, a little bit of love? Or is it just criticism? Full illumination, seeing everything fully, not just looking at a small detail, not just looking at it from our own personal ego, our personal perspective, but seeing things as a whole and trying to connect with Source, trying to connect with Spirit, trying to connect internally, externally, with the elders, with the wise, so that we can have this vision for the future. This train is coming and there is no stopping it. My friends, have a happy Sunday fun day. Happy full mooning to you. As always, thanks for hanging out with me. It's a pleasure. I love you. I wish you enough. And we'll see you tomorrow.